August, we had the lightning complex fires in the Bay Area, and these set a lot of the Bay Area and surrounding areas on fire. The reserves had over 25,000 acres affected and about 15,000 acres actually burned, and this was an event unlike any we've had before. It's also an opportunity for us to actually come in and see how the landscape has been affected by fire, and then also get some really good research done on how it recovers through time and what it's going to look like in the future. Initially, we used satellite data to get the really big landscape imagery to understand what's happening on a plant level, on a leaf level. We're flying drones over the area and getting images and data down to a centimeter scale. To complement that, we have on-the-ground studies where people are coming in and listing all the plants that they can find, and then as things come back, animals, what animals are we seeing, and then also looking at soil conditions, because when the fire burns, it's not just the plants that burn, the soil can burn as well. The properties of that soil really change how the landscape behaves post-fire, after it's burned, how the water runs across the landscape, and then how the plants can actually grow within that soil. We can combine all these different data types together to get a really good impression and understanding of what is happening now, and then how these landscapes are going to be resilient in these fires into the future. Big Creek is on the central California coast. We're in the middle of Big Sur here. The landscape you can see behind me used to be covered in shrubland vegetation, madrones, and then as you get down into the valleys, coastal redwoods. Fire has behaved differently in these different ecosystems. So as fire moves across the landscape, if the plants that they're encountering are flammable, madrones for instance, what we see on the landscape is that all the plants have been heavily charred, the soil is charred, and it's a very intense fire, high temperature, burned really hot, where there is a lot of moisture. So down in the valley bottoms, we have seen a lot of burned redwoods, but there's much more survival there than other areas, just because the whole area had a little bit more moisture and the trees didn't suffer as much damage. It's been really interesting to be here, 4 months after the fire and after the first rain of about an inch, because we can start to see the landscape rejuvenate. Entire hill slopes are now green. The plants are recovering really quickly, and it's so heartening to see the root sprouting and plants coming up. Especially on the redwoods, those are incredible. You can see, several feet of regrowth that's already happened from the base, and if you scan up the tree, there's often sprouts coming out of the trunk and out of different branches, and the redwoods start to look like fuzzy green monsters. They're so cute.